Welcome, everyone, to the third episode of the Grindstone Guide presented to you by TGE. I'm your host, Volts, and I am joined by Pescaro DB. And today we have a very special guest, our very own Link, here in the Discord building. Link, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing great. I hope everyone's having a great day.
Awesome.
Love the energy.
Absolutely. So, Drew, why don't you start us off with some questions, or maybe actually, you know what? Let's start off with Link. Just tell us a little bit about yourself, man. First, we know that you're currently in college, but can you tell us, where you're going, what year you're in, just things like that?
Okay, so I'm currently going to be a junior at Michigan State University. I'm studying kinesiology with a focus in exercise science, hoping to be a physical therapist one day.
This guy.
And I love sports, so that's kind of why I chose exercise science.
Man,
All right.
absolutely.
So before I start asking any questions, Michigan State, is that the school you've been at all, like, freshman and sophomore year as well?
Yeah.
Okay. That actually opens the book for a little more personal questions, but I'll stay away from that, get to that later. But just to start us off, I mean, like you said, you're in college now, you're doing this content thing. When did content become like something that you were actually trying to pursue, even if it was just initially for fun? And how do you balance that with being a college student right now? I feel like that's something that a lot of people can relate to.
So I've done content for a long time, for probably over 6 years, but I was just making random videos and just posting them whenever. I really didn't start taking it seriously till probably my senior year of high school. That's when I really started to focus on streaming, consistent upload schedule, consistent streaming schedule, and all that stuff. And so for probably, I would say 2-3 years is when I've really been taking it super seriously. And the majority of that has been when I've been in college. And honestly, balancing that has been pretty tough. It took me a while to figure out how to do it. But the biggest thing that I can say is you've got to be able to set a schedule for yourself for the content. I knew that my classes were going to be a lot. So I'm all right, if I can upload just 2 or 3 short form videos on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube Shorts a week and 1 long form video, that would be awesome. But I wasn't going to stress about it if I can only upload 1 long term video, a 5 or 10 minute video, and only 1 short term video on TikTok or YouTube Shorts or something like that. But honestly, I would just, as soon as I got free time, I would make the video, because I knew if I put it off, something would come up in my schedule and I wouldn't be able to do it. So gotta kind of want to do it. If you don't really want to do it, then you're not going to spend your free time doing it. So that's the biggest thing that I have seen.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, do you have time for, obviously you're doing a major that sounds relatively, time consuming with kinesiology, and content creation, we all know, takes a lot of your time, especially when you're trying to turn it into more than just a hobby. Does that leave any time for, extracurricular activities? I know you said you're a big sports guy, so I assume you're going to football games, going to basketball games. That's just another thing you got to balance there. How do you make that happen?
So what I've really found that helps me, because schoolwork is honestly the biggest portion of that takes up my time. So at the beginning of the week or the end of one week, I look at the next week that I have coming up for school, and I try and see what I need to do for each class and when it's due during the week. And I kind of make it it's like a little video game where you got
Gotcha.
you do this, so then you unlock this, and then you
I like
complete this
that.
class, you take the sticky note off the wall, throw it in the trash can, and you're done with that class for the week. So that's kind of how I see it as all right, make sure you plan that out, and as soon as you get that stuff done that's due that day, then you can start on the stuff for the next day. And then hopefully by that time you got all your stuff done so that you can go to the gym, go to the football games, play basketball, football, whenever you want to play it. So that's the biggest thing is like you need to create some sort of a schedule for your schoolwork at least.
Yeah. It's kind of funny that you mentioned that because that was going to tie into one of my questions. But Matt, we as people that have gone to college, we always go through different sets of challenges. Do you think you could provide some examples of some challenges that you've faced and maybe like some of the things that you put into place to overcome those challenges?
Probably the biggest challenge is finding that balance between schoolwork and like trying not to burn yourself out and having fun at the same time. That's the biggest balance that I've seen. That's the biggest challenge, and that's like the biggest thing that everybody needs to find, because I know some people are like all about partying, especially at school that I go to. That's what we're known for, and then some people just all they do is study, and I struggle with just kind of just studying, and I need to like not do that as much. Obviously studying is important, but that challenge, so like I said, like the schedule is a big thing. Like if you get that stuff done and you don't have anything else to do, go have fun, go play basketball with your friends. If you're about partying, go party if you want. That's a big challenge that I really feel like is that nice like social and like work balance that you need to really find to fit you.
Yeah, I mean, you're 100% right. Like a lot of people don't understand too is college, that's ultimately preparing you for the real world, because it's like we all, once you graduate and you get a full-time job, you've got that thing called work-life balance. Well, I mean, it's a school-life balance, and that's where you ultimately learn how to do that and get prepared for having that full-time job and then having, a social life outside of that. So I'm glad you brought that up, man. It's a great point.
Yeah. I was gonna actually ask you, so obviously, I mean, you sound like you're very much like driven and into the studies aspect of college, and I mean, you're pursuing something that obviously is a, solid career choice. Now, a lot of people, I feel like when they get into content, it's almost like in spite of their job or in spite of college or, further education or whatever. Do you feel that in your case, it's more like you think and you want the two to coexist? Like you're satisfied with the career choice or major choice that you've made, but also you would like to see the content thing, work out for you?
Oh, 100%. So like I said, like most of my channel stuff is like fitness and like 2K related. So sports and exercise, kind of the two things that tie in with my major. And what I learned in the classroom, I try and like throw that into some of my videos sometimes when it's, of course, like appropriate. I'm not just going to be playing 2K and throw out anatomy facts at you. I'm not going to be like, all right, did you guys know this bone connects to the clavicle on the anterior? No, I'm not going to do that. But I feel like it's one way to like also help further my learning, because I can recite it in the video and hopefully teach other people that watch it. But then also, since I'm reciting it, I'm also like learning it and further like memorizing what I'm also learning in the classroom. So it's kind of like a two-way street. Like I'm able to teach people, but I'm also like learning it myself at the same time. So the two coexisting together is honestly something that I quite enjoy.
It's really cool to hear, because I mean, like I said, I'm in the same boat. I work full time. I like what I do, but I do really enjoy content as well. I just feel like you see, like I said, so many examples of people on social media where it's like they're almost like begging for people to support their channels so that they can quit their job or so that they can drop out of school or whatever. And I don't know, I just think it's cool to find other people who, they're passionate about it, but at the same time, they enjoy having another aspect of their life as well. Now, Volts, did you have anything else you want to go into before I start asking what I wanted to ask about?
Well, I did just kind of want to touch up on one thing, because
you got it.
We are all avid sports fans. We know that. Link and I has talked about it before. Drew, I know you're a huge sports fan, and in fact, like a good chunk of us work in sports, so that's cool. And then of course we all enjoy making content. But Link, do you have anything else that you enjoy doing that maybe other college kids could relate to? Like, do you play an instrument? Do you just something along those lines? I know us three, we all resonate with the fact of like, being active, playing sports or participating, going to the games and stuff like that. Not everybody does that, right? So is there anything else that you do that you think other college kids do that may not do those other things that we do?
There's quite a few things. Whenever I do get the time, if you have your own place, trying a new recipe to make is honestly amazing. And there's super like budget friendly new recipes to try when you're at college, because like broke college student, like that's the thing. And so like sometimes you're sick of eating ramen noodles all day, so you want to try a little something different. And so I love to cook, so like I'll bake and I'll try different things, but I'll try and make it like as low budget as possible to make it friendlier for the bank account. And then
Yeah.
I did play an instrument. Playing music is very relaxing. I was an avid trumpet player from 5th grade to the junior year of high school, and I did find that it relaxes me. So if you play an instrument and you're scared of like annoying your neighbors, most colleges have a room in the basement where you can play your instrument. Go bring your instrument and play. Like genuinely, people don't care.
I have one more follow-up question to that, just because I'm glad you touched up on it. So yeah, living life as a college student, you don't always have the most money, right? So do you have any tips and tricks, no pun intended there, but any tips and tricks with like money handling to, like what you said, having budget-friendly meals, or maybe shopping and buying certain things that could help some other college kids whenever they're struggling, financially, and, just looking a way to make a meal?
So the biggest thing that I always try and look at is the store brand option, because like the only grocery store near me is Target. And so Target's sort of expensive, and I always try and find like the generic brand of everything that I buy, because it's mostly going to be like 50 cents to $1 cheaper, and that can add up pretty quickly. The only thing I don't recommend is going cheaper on Rice Krispie treats. Don't buy Target Rice Krispie treats. Just pay the extra 30 cents and get the regular Rice Krispie treats if you want them. They're horrible.
Noted.
But
yeah, no knockoff Rice Krispie treats.
No,
over
don't
here,
do
man.
it to yourself. It doesn't even taste like a rice. It doesn't even taste like anything. It tastes like horrible. I can't even describe the taste. It's so bad. But normally I just get like the generic brand, because they taste the same pretty much and they cost less. And out of anything besides food, honestly, take advantage of your school. As I know some schools have it, take advantage of like a student like subscription, because I know Spotify, instead of paying like $8 a month, you can pay $5 a month for Spotify Premium. I know some schools have like HBO Max for like free, or like Hulu for free. You might have to watch ads, but it's better than paying $15 a month for no ads. You think about it, you're in school for 9 months, $15 a month, that's over $100, and you're saving $100. So
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up too.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of things. I know like Apple Music, I'm pretty sure Spotify does it to where it's like college discounts. And, maybe a lot of college students don't know about that. So guys, like absolutely like look into that. Like sometimes when you're signing up for, different subscriptions, they do offer discounts for college students. So that's a way to save a little bit of money. I enjoyed watching Netflix and listening to music all the time, and I definitely took advantage of that while I was in college, was getting those college discounts. Instead of paying like $8.99 a month, I was paying $4.99 a month and saving $4 a month, and that, like Link said, that can add up.
very add. I didn't even know I got free Hulu or HBO Max until like March of this year, and I'm like, oh, that would have been great to know.
That's a sweet deal. Yeah, so I mean, Link, as soon as you said that you're a student at Michigan State, I can't lie. that, sent like a shock through my body because obviously, I want to say it was in 2022 when y'all sadly had to experience the realities of gun violence in the form of a school shooting. I connect with this so well, sadly, just because my school had the same thing. I was one of the victims, UNC Charlotte in 2019 when I was a sophomore. And from as far as I can tell, you were not directly impacted, and I'm thankful for that, of course. But this is sadly becoming more and more common for people to be connected to in some sort of way, whether it's a school they go to or a friend goes to a school. I mean, like, people are getting more and more connected to these types of scenarios. Can you just, from your point of view, your perspective, can you just take us through a little bit of what that time of being a student was like for you? And, if at all, has it changed your college experience from how it was before?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, like I said, I'm glad that you are okay, and I'm sorry that you had to go through that as well. So I'd like to say I'm grateful that you're here with us today.
Appreciated.
But so I was actually right across the street from where it happened. So as it was going down, quite a surreal moment this year. It changed everything this year. But being a student there, it brought everybody together almost. It brought everyone a little bit closer together. Like, I want to say that everybody was just there for everybody, and it was nice to see. But it's just it was sad that it was that moment that everybody came together. I would just like to see everybody just be together, like in a normal situation. But everybody was looking out for each other. Everybody was there, checking up on each other constantly. I had a bunch of friends who check up on me. I check up on them constantly, just because it was like you said, it's a surreal experience that you never really think will happen to you until it does, and then it's like, holy crap, it happened. So yeah, no, it was definitely a little bit eerie, because we didn't have school for a week, and then coming back, it was definitely a little bit eerie. But everybody came together, and I think our school became stronger because of it.
I mean, that's a really powerful message to hear, because, I mean, unlike you guys, when it happened to us at UNC Charlotte, it was last day of spring semester classes before finals. So obviously, they canceled finals and everyone went home for the summer. And then, I mean, we returned in the fall, but at that point, 2 or 3 months have passed. Anyone that wasn't directly affected or near what happened or whatever, kind of, already has kind of mentally moved on from it. In your guys' case, I mean, that happened, like you said, like smack dab in the middle of a semester. You all got a week off, you come back, and I mean, I just can't imagine what that had to have been like. It's so cool to hear, like you said, that like everyone came together and was there for each other. And it's unfortunate, to say the least, that in life sometimes it takes a moment that, serious, that traumatizing, to make people like put aside their differences for everyday life things and just be there for one another. But yeah, I mean, I didn't want to get too much into that side of it, because again, I know how much I don't like, making that the only thing that defines my experience in college, even though it obviously is a big part of it. I don't want you to feel like that's the only part of your college experience that defines your time there? Because, I mean, Michigan State obviously is such a wonderful university. Tons of experience, tons of success in sports and all that. So, I mean, it was obviously more, I would say, high profile with it being there. But I really appreciate you sharing your POV and just like explaining everything with how the school like came together and stuff. Because again, sadly, I think more and more people are having that be a part of their lives. And I think when people know that there's others out there like me and you who have experienced that firsthand, it helps people to feel like, okay, I'm not so alone in the, recovery process from this, whether it's mentally or whatever it may be.
Link, if you could give college students what you feel is the best piece of advice for them to navigate college, what do you think that would be?
I think the biggest piece of advice is to make friends. Nothing feels more lonely than being alone on a campus that you don't know, especially freshman year. Whether you go to a small school or a big school like Michigan State, you will still feel lonely. So make friends in your classrooms, make friends at the gym, at the cafeteria. I don't even care if it's cafeteria lady. Maybe she'll hook you up with some more food. But the biggest thing is you need to make friends, because they can be your lifeline. They can help you out in class. They can help you out when you're going through a tough time. They can be there for you when you laugh and for when you cry. It sounds super cliche, I know, but it's the truth. Like, nothing's better than having friends to go do stuff with or to just be with you at any point of the day. Like, I had a friend that I didn't even know his name until the 8th week of this last semester. Dude was amazing. It was so cool. Didn't know his name until the 8th week. We only have 12 weeks. It was super cool. And we helped each other get through the class. So that's the biggest thing. Make friends. Doesn't care if it's your roommate or not. Just make friends.
Absolutely. I'm glad you said that. And, speaking from just like, my own perspective, I know sometimes it can be a little hard maybe to make friends, sometimes, especially when you go to, you're brand new at a school or something. But, some advice just to bounce off of that, you need to put yourself sometimes in some uncomfortable situations to have that a wonderful opportunity of making a friend. Like, sometimes you might be a little shy at making friends, and you see all these other people, it feels like they make friends easier, but you just have to remember that almost everybody at college is in the same boat. They're probably looking for friends themselves. You just need to remember that. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there, make you some friends, and ultimately it's going to make your college experience much better.
Thank y'all so much for tuning into the 3rd episode of the Grindstone Guide. I'm Pescaro DB, joined by Volts and Link. Make sure to follow TGE on all social platforms, and be sure to check out the other 2 episodes if you haven't already. For my experience in college, check out Volts' episode for his experience in college, and we'll be joined by other guests in the future. Make sure to comment down below any topics you'd like us to cover in future episodes, and we'll catch you in the next one.
I am the greatest.